It's the Wilk Report. I'm Uncle Wilk, coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio, with a review of Batwoman, Season 1, Episode 1. The title card says it all. This show is worse than bad. It is boring, forgettable trash. To quote from Shadiversity about Captain Marvel, MCU Captain Marvel, the DC Captain Marvel, which is called Shazam. It's not boring, forgettable trash. But this show is, oh my god, it is wrong on so many levels. It's difficult to know exactly what all. I mean, where do I begin? Because this. Okay, so let me just do the slideshow real quick here. All right, so we get like the whole title card thing, and it looks like bad CGI trash. We've got, Kate Kane, played by Ruby Rose. She's diving into the Arctic waters to do some kind of endurance test where she's got to find, the key to the ankle cuffs. Someone's placed a trunk over the hole that she was supposed to swim out of. She breaks free using the handcuffs that were attached to her ankle, but, hypothermia, totally not a thing here. Yeah, because as you can see, she walks in barefoot, no sign of frostbite or anything else. So the Arctic is not the Arctic. It's obviously a set, and that's an indication of just how awful this series is, where it can't even be bothered to go ahead and respect your intelligence. So she's bitching because there was a trunk placed over the hole, and her Inuit teacher is saying, yeah, and you found a way. And of course, he's speaking in broken English, which is really blatantly racist because, those who do speak English can speak it quite fluently, actually. So you're being a complete douchebag racist show here. At the same time, you're trying to pander to women and lesbians. So anyway, yeah, as I said in my last video, there's this big ceremony where they're going to turn off the bat signal after 3 years because reasons. Mary, the chick who's doing the selfie with the kid in the background, is Kate's stepsister. And basically, when we're introduced to her, she comes off as kind of flighty. Here's Doug Ray Scott playing Kate's father. And then, of course, we've got his wife, his second wife, who is saying, oh, Batman's abandoned us. He's not coming back. It's time to turn off the bat signal and, move on with our lives. We've got the Crow as a private security firm because the Gotham Police Department, totally not a thing. Yeah, okay, so, some private security firm because they're getting killed left and right by Alice and her Wonderland gang, I guess, who decides, oh yeah, your crows aren't all that because, I'm killing them. So yeah, not happening. Of course, then we've got Sophie Moore, who is really about the only other person on the roof with the bat signal because reasons. She basically is getting her ass beat. She manages to take out at least one of them, but she gets knocked down to the street and kidnapped. So then Kate gets a phone call from Mary saying that Sophie's been kidnapped and she needs to come back home right away. And you can tell, Kate Kane is like, oh yeah, thanks for bothering me while I'm training. What's this about? Because Mary hasn't told her yet. But yeah, so she's saying, oh yeah, you need to come back because Sophie's missing. And this show really plays with timing because, this implies that this is taking place like in real time. So it's like this must have happened like just minutes before. So, okay, why would you... the first thing you do is call up Kate. All right, so then Kate has flashbacks to when she and Sophie were in the Air Force Academy, and she gets drummed out here Now, I'm actually going to pause the. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm actually going to pause the thing here because this is actually the one thing that Batwoman actually gets right. Is that uh, despite the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, because a lot of critics are saying, oh, well, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed back in 2010, so how could she be jumped out of the military when, there's no longer Don't Ask, Don't Tell? Well, it might have been a repeal, but it wasn't really a repeal. And as you can see from the links, and I'll post these in the description, but it hasn't really uh, been repealed. Okay, so a year later, Why I'm Staying in the Closet, 1K Soldier on the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell uh, might be gone, but its effects still haunt LGBT veterans. Uh, yeah, they spot the gay military spouses still don't receive equal benefits, and this is from 2011. Yeah, discharged soldiers face difficulty rejoining. Uh, right. So basically, yeah. So yeah, this is actually from this June, actually, where yeah, people are still kicked out of the military for being gay. So yeah, it wasn't really a repeal. Um, so yeah, this is just basically, uh, it's basically you're taking uh, things that are not meant to be. Uh, yeah, it's just what the only thing that's actually remotely realistic here. Uh, so yeah, uh, like I said, Kate's having flashbacks to when all this is going down, and I'm actually working on my. Uh, right, so let's go ahead and do this here. So yeah. All right, so yeah, flashback. Yeah, sorry, my computer's being slow. Uh, yeah, so basically she gets found out, and here's the thing that really bugs me. So Kate comes back into town. All right, she's confronting her father over Sophie's disappearance. Her father, played by Doug Ray Scott, he's the head of the private security firm that's supposed to be replacing the Gotham Police Department. But yeah, as we can see in the beginning of the episode, they're really not all that effective. So why are the police not actually there? So then we get more flashbacks to when Kate and Sophie are in the academy and they're making out and they get caught and Kate is expelled and Sophie basically threw her under the bus. Signed a confession basically denying that she's gay but that Kate is, and so Kate's dismissed. Also doesn't help that Kate doesn't know how to follow rules. So she decides to go over to Wayne Enterprises to get information that could help find Sophie. And instead of entering the building like any normal person would, especially since she's supposed to be Bruce Wayne's cousin, so you'd think she would have, at least identification to get herself in and say, hey, yeah, I'm cousin Kate, I'm just here to take a look around. So instead of doing that, she goes ahead and climbs the wall and breaks in. Yeah, because reasons. I mean, does nobody in this show actually do anything for any logical reason? So she gets caught by Luke Fox, who's brandishing a taser, but, she's kind of like not really respecting his authority as an employee of Wayne Enterprises, so she basically beats him up and steals his keys and, basically, treats him like basically like a lackey or something. Luke is like, he just stands there like an idiot instead of calling the police or even the Crows to let them know that, hey, someone just broke and entered. Uh, so then Kate comes home to her stepmother and stepsister throwing her a welcome home party. And yeah, so, and she's all like, oh, yeah, uh, this is totally not what I wanted. Why am I here? Please leave. Yeah, I mean, you think, yeah. So, then Mary goes ahead and starts boring Kate with all sorts of shit that she doesn't really seem to care about, and she expresses all the emotion of a turnip. Um, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, we're just completely. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, and then, of course, we get more of her stone face, which really doesn't. I mean, does this woman even know how to emote? I mean, she only seems to have like two facial expressions: this and uh, embarrassment. Yeah. So this is a flashback where she uh, remembers how Sophie threw her under the bus. So why would she even come back to go ahead and rescue this woman who betrayed her? Back in the military academy, and then got the job that apparently her father had promised to her, but she never really believed what she was actually going to get. So yeah, she's having all these flashbacks, and the flashbacks are kind of pointless. I mean, they're meant to go ahead and uh, you know tell the story of Kate and flesh her out as a character, but you really just need lines of dialogue for that. You don't really need to be spending all this money. Uh, and of course, the lighting is awful. Have I mentioned just how bad the lighting is? Oh, so yeah. So basically, Kate uses footage, like street footage she got from Wayne Enterprises. They zoom in on this cricket bat that's used to assault Sophie and knock her out to kidnap her. And she traces it to this abandoned orphanage where she goes in alone, gets the shit beat out of her, and gets captured. Yeah, because she's 198-pound woman who is facing people twice her size, yet supposedly she keeps beating them up. Uh, but it's obvious she doesn't really know how to fight, and she gets knocked out by Alice, who basically explains her evil plan to her. It's like, come on, how many villains actually explain their evil plans nowadays? Seriously. So apparently it's not about threatening Gotham or any grand plan. No, she just wants to go after Kate's father because reasons. Because apparently, and apparently she knows all about Kate and her sister, and then decides, oh yeah, I'm going to leave you alive so you can give a message to your father. Yeah. So then Kate is wheeled into some kind of infirmary where it turns out Mary is running an illegal free clinic to service the homeless. And so while Kate is getting patched up by Mary, who, and I guess this scene is to try and establish that Mary isn't like this shallow, one-dimensional throwaway character who has no purpose in the story other than to be annoying. No, it turns out she's actually supposed to be someone who's actually good. And she's a medical student, and she's stealing supplies from med school to run this free clinic that she just kind of stumbled into running because reasons. So yeah, then Kate goes back to the Crow's headquarters and gets chewed out by her father for going into a dangerous situation alone without backup and getting herself hurt and disappearing and not telling him where she is because he's her father. So then she deflects all this, basically avoids taking the heat for that by bringing up a whole bunch of shit that is from her childhood and accusing him of resenting her for being the one who lived and reminding him of her sister and mother who died. And then of course she goes back to Wayne Enterprises, physically threatens Luke, discovers the elevator to the Batcave, which is now no longer located underneath Wayne Manor, but now located under Wayne Enterprises because reasons. Yes, you can actually move an entire Batcave from underneath Wayne Manor to underneath Wayne Enterprises, or maybe it's a backup Batcave. I don't know. The show never actually explains any of this. We're just expected to accept this without question. Yeah, I know. So she goes ahead and discovers that, oh yeah, Bruce Wayne was Batman. I've spent the last 15 years of my life hating Batman, aka my cousin Bruce, for failing to save me and my mother and sister. But then she realizes, oh wait, yeah, he actually tried to save them, failed, and spent years haunted by it. Um, whether this actually contributed to him leaving is kind of up in the air because, yeah, it's never explained. So she puts aside her hatred for her cousin for abandoning the city. Uh, yeah, for which, I guess is kind of understandable. I will give it that because, okay, yeah, she finds out, not only that her cousin was Batman, but that he actually did try to save her family, but failed and actually was haunted by it for years afterward because, yeah, I mean, this was family and he couldn't even save them. He did manage to save a busload of children who had been kidnapped by the Joker. So, anyway, she discovers not only the bat suit, but, a lot of Batman's gadgets, which she decides she's going to use. And, yeah, so she's like, whoa, bling. I can use all this stuff. Yeah, badly, because you've got no training. Bruce Wayne spent pretty much most of his life training from childhood. Oh, yeah, by the way, I saved this screen capture just because it is so goddamn hilarious. But yeah, it's indicative of just how bad this is. This is the face I make when I'm watching this show. So then Mary calls up, and apparently one of Alice's gang has stumbled into the free clinic that Mary is running illegally to seek medical attention. So Mary calls up Kate and lets her know because, I think I know where they're all going with this. So yeah, their target of the Wonderland gang is a movie in the park hosted by the city where Kate's father... Oh, and this is my favorite here. Dodson is a traitor.
Dodson! We've got Dodson here!
Yeah, it turns out he's actually Alice's boyfriend or something because, yeah, he's the guy on the inside. Oh my God. As soon as I heard his name, I had to track down that audio clip here because it is just so goddamn hilarious. Basically, open it up. So yeah, Alice calls up her father because, yeah, it's pretty much telegraphed that Alice is Beth, like Kate's long-lost sister. So, yeah, she threatens, okay, yeah, there's a bomb in one of the Crow trucks, so I'm going to give you a choice. You can either do as I say and the city lives, or you can let your prized pupil, Sophie, die because, if she moves off of this plank even an inch, she'll fall to her death. Because there's just this rain barrel holding her up, basically. So then Kate comes in wearing a modified version of the bat suit. Yes, that cringe-worthy moment from the trailer. It will be when it fits a woman. Well, it looks like it had already been designed for a woman anyway. But then Alice decides to beat the living shit out of her again with a 2x4. And this is hilarious because, Kate Kane is supposed to be this badass, but she gets her ass beat every time she goes into battle. So, this is just, you went into a dangerous situation alone and got your ass beat once before. You would think you would learn to act as a team because, yeah, now you're getting strangled. And, yeah, she's getting strangled and she's still got that resting bitch face going on instead of looking like, because Ruby Rose apparently is such a bad actress, she can't emote. And Sophie's looking like, oh, yeah, this is my savior. I'm fucked. Just like this show is fucked. Oh my God. So, but nevertheless, she manages to rescue Sophie. A very improbable rescue, and takes the time to actually just kind of give her goo-goo eyes before flying away. And the CGI here is so bad. It looks like there's a bird or something flying away, but people mistake it for Batman. And then, of course, the next morning, the questions, Batman lives? Yeah, reference to Superman Lives. Oh my god, dude, this is just bloody awful. Then we get, a montage of people who are reading about, oh, is he back? And of course, the next episode or two, we see Kate's frustration at people thinking she's Batman and him taking credit for a woman's work. Well, you're taking credit for a man's work because you're using his suit and his tech to fight crime. So you're taking credit for his stuff. Hello. So yeah, Kate meets Sophie's husband, finds out that she's married. So yeah, Sophie apparently is bisexual, not just a lesbian. So yeah, this is kind of creating complications. And of course, Kate's like, "Oh yeah, you're married. Oh God, I hate this guy already." And of course, hubby was conveniently out of town when all this happened. So yeah, because he's basically just shoehorned in as a conflict for Kate. And then of course, Dougray Scott comes in and apologizes to Kate, admitting that he pulled strings to, with the intention of getting her a desk job because he doesn't want her getting hurt. She's the only real family he has left because apparently his wife and stepdaughter aren't enough. He remarried, he moved on with his life, but yeah, he's only got his biological daughter. Yeah, okay, yeah, bad writing here because, just contradicts itself all over the place. So then Kate notices from a knife that she recovered from the battle with Alice that has a jewel that is very similar to one she and her sister Beth both wore. And of course, there's this telegraphing again in the first episode that Alice and Beth are the same person. So you've already given it away. Especially since Beth has the Polaroid that was taken in that car 15 years prior when they were girls and both showing their necklaces. And then Alice goes ahead and decides, this is pretty much you and me were going to take over the world, or at least take over Gotham. Because reasons. I still have no idea what those reasons are, and I actually don't even care what those reasons are at this point, because this show was just so awful. It insulted my intelligence on every single level. So yeah, this is what really frustrates me, is that Batwoman and Nancy Drew are getting full season orders from the CW as of October 25th. Yes, even though after 4 episodes, it's already clear that Batwoman is completely garbage and really should not have a full season. This is something that shouldn't even... Oh my God, why? Why are they picking up more episodes of this? This is so bad. Critics hate this show for a reason, because it is so awful. So why the bloody hell are you going ahead and renewing this shit? So pretty early vote of confidence from the CW, which starts its season 2 weeks after the major broadcast networks. The full season orders came after 3 airings for each for Batwoman and Nancy Drew, and 2 weeks earlier than the CW's back orders last fall. Back then, the network also picked up additional episodes of all of its new fall series, but one, Charmed, got a full season 22-episode pickup with a traditional back 9 order, while the other 2, All-American and Legacies, received 3 more episodes each. All 3 were eventually renewed for a second season. Alright, so apparently they've both done well with delayed viewing, according to whom. I don't know why, because... it's just complete garbage. Seriously, the writing is garbage. The dialogue is garbage. Actually, the lighting is garbage. All right, for this title card, I did some image effects for this to get it looking like this. This actually looks better visually than the lighting in the actual scene. I'm not kidding. I mean, you saw it right up there. But yeah, I mean, oh my God. I can't believe I have to freaking review this. Uh, I downloaded the first 4 episodes. Honestly, I don't know if I can even bring myself to watch past episode 4 because this show is just insulting my intelligence on so many levels. It's not even funny. I cannot recommend this show. I mean, even if you're someone who gets sold on being pandered to for woke points, this show is bad. And I can't imagine why anyone would ever want to watch a full season of this. I mean, CW, since its inception, has become infamous for just putting out nothing but trash TV shows. Badly written, badly produced, badly acted, often badly lit. I mean, this show actually manages to make Supergirl look good by comparison, and Supergirl, in its 5th season, it's like, why are you making shows that are so awful and then giving them multiple seasons? 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, this show never would have lasted beyond, I mean, it wouldn't have even been picked up. Okay? When Buffy the Vampire Slayer came out as a mid-season replacement, that got picked up for a full season. And you know what? It's because it was actually good. A strong female lead, well written, well acted, well told stories, characters you actually sympathized with and wanted to do well, even though you knew, they would do well because, hey, people at least your hero has to survive, so that's going to happen. Well, yeah, season 5 of Buffy kind of threw that on its ear, but 20 years ago, the show would have never made it past the pilot. And probably never would have gone to air because it is just that awful. Nowadays, it's like they're... You know how Buffy the Vampire Slayer and before that Xena Warrior Princess and Star Trek Voyager, these shows come out with female leads and people actually watch them. People actually liked it. Because the people who made these shows back then knew how to make shows that catered to female audiences and male audiences too. Because, yeah, I watched Xena Warrior Princess along with Hercules and Highlander. I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I even watched Charmed for the first 3 seasons before Aaron Spelling turned it into another freaking soap opera. But, nowadays it's like, and even the Charmed reboot is boring trash. I mean, it's claiming to do what apparently the original did before and better, but pretends that it didn't. Because the people behind these shows just think that they are breaking new ground, and they're not. And they're talking down to us and pretending like we, the audience, are dummies, when it's actually they who are dummies. So I really cannot recommend this show. I'm going to do 3 more episodes and then quit because I've no interest in continuing to watch this trash any further than that. So yeah, the next reviews are basically going to point out why all of this is garbage. So anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. If you like what you've heard and you want to hear more, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we upload new content. Hit the like button, smash that bell to subscribe. Like I said, share this video. Until next time, this is Michael Wilk for the Wilk Report saying take care, good night, I'm out.